the nice backstory that we filled in to the lightning thief in this season that was never in the book. But once you see it, it makes total sense. Oh, of course, these two characters would be off having a conversation like this in some other part of the camp.
Part of what I think makes this film so amazing is that you don't just have an amazing mainline cast, but you have this great pantheon of gods with people like Jason Mantzoukas and Lin-Manuel Miranda. And I'm curious just what it was like assembling that really amazing team of people. And if there were any gods it was especially difficult to find just the right person for.
Well, I think we were incredibly lucky, weren't we? I mean, we added a god to, there's not that many gods in The Lightning Thief. And so we added Hermes in. And Rick knew from the moment that that character was written in who should play. And so we were so lucky,
Yeah. Lin-Manuel was incredible, as I suspected he would be. And I knew that he was the guy for the divinity, I guess. But the neat thing about gods and casting them is they are gods. They can look like anything and anyone they want to. So there's no sort of canon in terms of appearance that you need to look at. They can look like anything. So it really was a question of who embodies the personality, who has that kind of gravitas. They were all incredible gets. They were all amazing. Lance Reddick, God rest his soul, was so good as Zeus.
We miss him.
We do, and it's bittersweet, but it's a real tribute to him to see him in that role in this series.
This is his last performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really special.
And Jay Duplass's kids are fans, and so
Yeah, that was a story for a lot of the adult actors. They were interested in the project because they have children themselves who are fans of the books, and so
Glenn like that.
Yeah, and they felt that. Not only a professional commitment, but a personal commitment to really put their all into the series. It was beautiful to see.
I'm curious, what were the hardest parts of the novel to get right with a television series?
For me, it was the voice, because in the book, it's all first-person narration from Percy's point of view. You're in Percy's head 100% of the time. And you can't really do that on the screen, at least not as easily.
Right, and you were talking about casting, and that is where we really lucked out, because Walker brings that with his own voice. He knows the character so well. He is Percy Jackson. I think that when people see him as Percy Jackson, they will say, they will forget that he's Walker Scobell.
What do you think will surprise Percy Jackson book fans the most about this adaptation?
I think one thing maybe for me is that they're going to be surprised at how lovingly it was adapted. There are Easter eggs in there that they might, even hardcore fans of the books who know it page by page, might not be expecting to see on the screen that are in there. And that's not just because of Becky and me. That's because of the whole team looking through the source material and saying, this would be really fun to put in.
I think John and Dan put more in there than we even suggested. Rick and I were always like, we can deviate from it and, do this and whatever. And they were much more faithful, I think, than we were.
Yeah. So that's one thing that'll surprise them. I think the other thing that might surprise people is the nice backstory that we filled in to the lightning thief in this season that was never in the book. But once you see it, it makes total sense. Oh, of course, these two characters would be off having a conversation like this in some other part of the camp.
Right, because it's not just Percy's voice, right? So it has to be everybody.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me. It was really awesome to learn more about this show.
Yeah, thank you.